Hey, what's up, everybody? I've been traveling, so it's been a little hard to make these videos, but I wanted to put one out today on the reaction in foreign exchange markets to Trump's comments starting yesterday when he voiced his displeasure at rate hikes. One thing interesting, he seemed to understand that rate hikes lead to more rate hikes. He said once they start raising rates, they have to raise them some more. So he kind of understands, I guess, the MMT principle there, that rate hikes are price hikes. When you raise prices, then the reaction by the central bank, when they see the higher inflation that comes from that, they raise rates some more because that is their orthodoxy. Inflation goes up, they raise rates some more. So I guess he understands that because he mentioned it. Last night, China revalued the yuan in a small devaluation of 0.89%. You had a sharp spike lower. The dollar rallied briefly, but gave back most of those gains. That was a sign, I thought that was a sign that the dollar buying was getting a little exhausted. The other thing I saw recently, two things. First of all, the dollar index, if you've been following that, and I know many of you do, never settled at a new high. Yesterday we made a brief marginal new high in the dollar index, I think 95.65, but then it reversed down and traded in the low 95s. Basically, we've been in the mid 93 to mid 95 range for a couple of months, and we have not broken out of that range. Yesterday there was an attempt to break out of that range. We could not. It could not close above that range, and it settled back into familiar ranges. That was number one. The other thing I saw was the euro, where you still have a lot of political volatility there. Okay, the euro was very, very resilient. The euro-dollar pair never traded down to a new low, and in fact, continued to hold the 116 level fairly strongly. Okay, so I was looking at that. That was an indication to me that, again, some of that dollar selling was some of that dollar buying was becoming exhausted, and it was being concentrated more or less in two or three currencies. You had the British pound that was weak with the Brexit news floating around, and you had the yen that was weak. All right. Even with the sell-off in oil, by the way, you could not get the Canadian dollar to trade down to new lows. So that was another indication. Today's reaction to Trump's comments when he talked about Europe and China manipulating their currencies, he had a sharp down move, again, suggests to me a technically weak structure to the market. So, number one, you didn't have a breakout in the dollar index. Number two, you had the euro and also the Australian dollar, I might add, holding up fairly well against an onslaught of selling. And number three, the reaction by comments in a technically strong market. Yeah, you'd see a quick, probably down move in the dollar, and then it would recover right away. You're not seeing that. So I'm not saying this is the reversal right here, but I know, the fundamental underpinning for the dollar is weak. The people who have been buying it on mainly this belief that rate hikes will continue, and that is bullish for the dollar. And we know that's just not true. You had 7 rate hikes since December 2015, and the dollar is lower. In December 2015, dollar yen was at 121. It's at what? 112 now. Euro was at 108. It's at what? 116, 117 now. And the list goes on. Same thing with gold, by the way. Gold was at 1,040, 1,045. It's at 1,200 or 1,220. You're up 20% after 7 rate hikes. So, I mean, this belief, and that's what it is. It's not fact, it's a belief the rate hikes. So, and this is really the only rationale. If you go out there and if you go through all the commentary, like really try to look for what is the reason behind the dollar's strength, you continue to see the same narrative. Oh, it's the rate hikes, but yet they haven't been holding it up. You might have some of these other narratives like, oh, there's no other place to put your money, but that's all. That's nonsense. That is nonsense. Okay, that is not how exchange rates are set. So that's the scenario right now. All right. We'll see how it plays out. I am very, very confident in my outlook. All right. I'm a macro trader. Price does not dictate how I view the market. Policy does. Fundamentals dictate. And we'll see how it plays out. I got to get going. See everybody. Bye-bye.